Hey everybody, I'm Grandmaster Ben Finegold with another 5 Minutes with Ben, and I'm Ben. Today we're going to look at one of the games from the final match of the American Cup, the women's final, between Irina Krush and Alice Lee. And they played two final matches because Irina had won the preliminaries. Alice Lee won the first final match, which gave her a chance to play a second final match against Irina Krush. And the second final match, they played all the way to the end, where trading wins. First Irina won, then Alice won, then Irina won, then Alice won, and they kept trading. Eventually, Alice Lee was victorious. And this game was played in a must-win game for Alice. She had to win with the black pieces to continue on in the match. And they got this position where black is a pawn ahead, and obviously Krush doesn't like her king on e1. She would probably rather have castled earlier. But first things first, the bishop is attacked on b7. And in this position, Krush made the losing move. The only good move is to take the pawn on c7, which defends the bishop on b7. That looks a little iffy because black can attack the rook with something like queen d6, but the all-knowing engine says this is equal, and that was the only chance for white. And I understand not playing rook c7 because it looks like these pieces can get attacked and you might lose one of them. So instead, Irina made a normal-looking move, moving her bishop to safety and making a threat. Bishop c6. It looks like I'm attacking the knight, black will do something about the knight, and then I can castle. Hooray! Okay. And this is where Alice Lee played excellent chess. She ignored the attack on her knight, and she attacked Krush's queen with the move rook b2. And that's why rook takes c7 was better. It kept the bishop on b7, blocking the rook. Now, we can't interpose with the rook because there's this bishop hiding on h7. So white has to move her queen, and the all-knowing engine says it doesn't matter what white does, white is losing anyway. So for example, if white plays a boring move like queen d1, then black wins by playing bishop to d3, stopping white from castling with the terrible threats of queen b4 check and queen a5 check, which win the game immediately. And in this position, the engine says black is winning. Although it's very complicated, the most complicated variation is queen a4, queen d6, bishop takes the knight, and then queen f6, threatening queen takes f2 check, and also threatening queen f3. And somehow this is winning for black, although that would not be obvious since they're playing like a rapid game or a blitz game. So that would still be very complicated, and it would be difficult for Alice to find the right continuation. But instead of playing queen to d1, Krush played queen c3. And this also forces black to make the only winning move, which she did. White wants to trade queens, and we can never trade queens and check and win this rook. This rook is defended twice. So white doesn't really have a back rank problem with the skewer because the rook on h1 is defended so much. So Alice Lee did the only thing she could. She avoided trading queens, whereas at the same time making a threat. She played rook b3. And that's the winning move. And Krush played queen back to d2. Alice Lee attacked her queen again. Bishop takes d7. It doesn't matter what we do here because we're going to have a winning rook sacrifice if you move your queen. For example, if you play queen c2, you're lined up with my bishop, so I can play rook takes e3 check. And you can't play queen to e2 because your queen needs to defend your rook on c1. So the queen doesn't have any good square to go to where it stays off of this diagonal and defends the rook on c1. So Krush decided to sacrifice her queen and get some pieces. So she played bishop takes d7, queen rook takes d2, king takes d2. And unfortunately, although white does have a rook and a knight for a queen, black still has a winning attack, and Alice Lee played queen b2 check, And now white has 3 legal moves. Rook c2 is terrible because there is a bishop there, so you can't do that. If you play king e1, you're losing your rook on c1 with check. So if you don't resign, you have to play king d1. Then black plays queen takes f2, and black has a winning attack and a winning amount of material. Krush didn't want to have this position, so after queen b2 check, she resigned. That made the match go even further, and Alice won a very exciting match. I hope you enjoyed this 5 minutes with Ben. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.